Well, roster update 3 is right around the corner, and we believe it's going to be next week is going to be this roster update, whether that's on a Thursday or Friday, because that's what they've been doing. So that would be the 16th or 17th of July. And I'm giving you guys kind of my final list of the guys that I think are going to be going up and down. Obviously, we did an early one about a couple weeks ago, so now we're going to make an updated one with some of the games and some of the changes that are happening. So we're going to be starting off with the Diamonds, and we're going to start off with Cam Schlittler. Obviously, this guy has been absolutely incredible for the New York Yankees. One of the AL Cy Young candidates at this point. He's definitely going to get an upgrade in this update. I would definitely buy him. He's still going for right around quick sell, so he's actually still going for a great price right now compared to some of the other guys on this list. So I would definitely pick him up. He's definitely got a good shot to at least go a +3, +2 kind of area. It's kind of where I see him and what the calculator looks like. So we'll kind of see what happens with Cam Schlittler, but he's definitely a guy that you want to get, especially with those low numbers being in the yellow. Definitely got a shot to go up. Our next diamond is going to be Jacob Mizorowski. Now, obviously, he's been absolutely incredible for the Brewers. He's currently projected to be a +5. I don't really see him getting that high of an upgrade. He's probably going to be right around a 3 or a 4 if I had to guess, but even his price is still super sky high. Glad I bought him when he was right around quick sell. If you didn't get on him already, then you might miss out depending on how high he goes, because it's going to be a little bit challenging to make profit if he doesn't go at least to a +3 at this price. But if you guys have been watching, he's another guy that has a really good shot at the NL Cy Young, and we'll kind of see what happens with how much SDS is willing to give him in the upgrade. Our next diamond is going to be Pete Crow Armstrong. Now, he's obviously been batting incredible. Of course, he did get the June Player of the Month, which was obviously exciting, and he's still going for a pretty good price over here, and he's definitely going to upgrade, especially with the contact and power stats being super low, and everything on this card being extremely good. So PC is definitely going to get upgraded. I'm kind of looking at a +2, +3 on him right now, just with the way he's hitting and everything like that. And he kind of needs to go to at least to a +2 to make some profit on him with the sell now he's at currently. But PCA is definitely a strong candidate to go up in the roster update. I would definitely buy some of him if you can. Now, the last diamond on my list is going to be Junior Caminero. Now, he's been really good for the Tampa Bay Rays. Obviously, he's going to be at the All-Star game, the Home Run Derby, excuse me. Pretty solid player. And obviously, he could really get an upgrade on his contact and his power still. I think he's got a really good chance to go up on those two categories. He's going for 4,000 stubs in the market, so people are expecting him to probably be at least a +1, probably +2, +3, depending on how they do it. But he's definitely another guy that is definitely deserving of an upgrade, which is how well he's been playing, especially in June. So those are the 4 diamonds I have going up. Obviously, in the last video, we had Ben Rice and Shaylin Lears. I ended up selling those guys just because when you looked at the stats that they needed to go up on, they just weren't playing good in those categories. So I kind of feel like they're going to be, right around the same or maybe a +1. So at least on those two, I'm going to sell and not take the risk on them and just invest in more cards, which is what I ended up doing, which is why I'm at 800 stubs, as you guys can see. Now let's go to the gold, starting with Drew Rasmussen. Now, he's definitely a player I think that is still going to get an upgrade. He only needs a +1 and he only needs a little bit of stats to get there. So I definitely think he's got a great shot, especially with the hits per 9 and the Ks per 9. Definitely think he's got a really good shot to go up. And as you can see, his price is already getting pretty high up there. So he's definitely a good shout in my opinion. Now, Michael Harris II is another player that we have invested into. Once again, he's an 84 right now. He's been playing really good this season. And obviously, his June was pretty solid as well. And he's still got a lot of stats that he can go up with his power, vision, clutch, and contact. So he's another guy that I have going up in this roster update. He's one that, because I think there's like 5 guys that probably could go diamond. I do think Michael Harris is probably one of them. But we'll obviously wait to see until that update goes live. But he's definitely the guy that I'm investing into. Now, Johan Duran's another interesting case. I don't know if he's going to go +2, but he's definitely going to go +1, just depending on, if he's played well enough to be at that diamond level. He's definitely played well enough to get a +1, which is kind of why I invested into him. It's like 300 stubs per card, pretty easy profit, but I don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to give him a +2, just because he has played well. I don't know if he's earned it all the way there. He needs a decent amount of stats to go up to be able to get to that diamond level, but wait and see on Duran. But I definitely think he's going to get an upgrade at least to an 84. And Dylan Lee is another one that honestly could go diamond. It's kind of the same situation with him. I kind of wonder if they're going to give one of them diamond and one of them like a +1, but I invested in both of them because I really do think they have a shot to go up. And obviously, if they were more, I guess you could say, fruitful with the upgrades this year, then both of these guys would be diamonds, but we know how SDS is, so I don't know really what's going to happen with him, but he's definitely going to get a +1 minimum, probably +2 at the maximum. But he's just been so good this year, and honestly, Dylan Lee's just been that guy for the Braves. He really hasn't given up like any runs and barely any hits, so definitely have him going up as an upgrade. Now our next gold on this list is going to be Jackson Chourio. Now he's another guy I did invest into, and he's got a lot of potential to grow, especially with the way he's been playing in June, especially with his power numbers being really low, him hitting the ball really well versus the left side. You know, we'll kind of see where Jackson Chourio is, but I definitely see him getting an upgrade, at least to a +1. Maybe he goes diamond with a +2. Once again, it's another same situation. We'll see if SDS is going to give him that option, but he's definitely a guy that's going to go up in the roster update. Now Dylan Cease is another guy that's got a great shot to go up in the roster update. He's definitely a guy I wanted to get more of, because even if he gets a +1, like, it's still worth it because you're still making profit on him. So I think he's projected around a +1, +2 right now as it stands, but definitely a strong player to invest into. Now Chase Burns is another one that definitely could go up in the roster update. You know, he's only a couple stats away from being a 95, and a lot of people do think he's going to go up, and obviously he's been playing pretty well this season, so that could definitely happen. So that's why Chase Burns is on this list. I definitely think he's got a shot to go diamond. Now Wilson Contreras is another player that has a shot to go diamond, I think, as well. He's obviously been playing pretty solid this season, and he's got multiple upgrades. He's only a little bit off of that 85 status, so he's definitely got a shot to go diamond, I think, and he's definitely one, I think, out of the 5 that probably does it. Now, Otto Lopez is going to be another one on this list. He was actually able to hit some more home runs in June, which is going to help his case out a lot because his clutch, his vision, and his contact are already very high. But he's able to hit some more home runs, and we know home runs, or at least in power in this game, does matter a lot when it comes to overall. So with the power upgrades that he probably is going to get, it's probably going to give him to an 84. So definitely another strong guy to invest into. Now, Eric Sobrowski is another guy that we could be investing into. He's obviously an 81. He did get that gold upgrade in the last roster update, and this guy really hasn't slowed down really at all. So he's definitely got a shot to go up a little bit in this roster update. You see he's up to an 84 on the inside edge, which is increasing those stats. So those are the same stats he's probably going to increase if he were to get an upgrade. And you can see that's bringing him to an 84. So he's probably a +1 or +2 as it stands right now, but he's definitely another guy you could invest into. Now, Brendan Woodruff is still a good shout to go up in the roster update. Definitely think he's right around a +1 or +2 as it stands. He's obviously been pitching pretty well for the Brewers. And obviously we can see his in-game stats are very low in MLB The Show. He's going right for quick sell. So even if, you know, a couple of these guys don't go up, they're still going right for quick sell. So it's still a really good buy. But Brandon Woodruff's another guy that you could put on your roster investments. Braxton Ashcraft is another one that definitely got a good shot to go up. I mean, you just look at the in-game stats and they're pretty low as it stands right now. And he's obviously been playing pretty good. I know for my fantasy team, he's been playing extremely well. He's only had, I think, a couple bad starts really the whole season. So he's definitely another good guy that could go up in that roster update. And once again, he's going right for quick sales. So these are all guys that you can get for very cheap. And Tanner Scott's another guy that kind of found him in that closer role for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And obviously he's been performing a lot better than he did last season. So he's definitely probably going to get a pretty big upgrade when it comes to this roster update. Definitely a +2, +3 kind of guy. And we'll kind of see what happens moving forward with this roster update. But Tanner Scott's been playing extremely well for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I would definitely have some of him. He's going right for quick sell as always, so nothing to really lose on him either. Now, Wyatt Langford has been playing pretty good over this period. I know he's been hitting a lot more home runs, at least when he's been healthy and been on the field. Obviously, he has struggled with some injuries, but he's another guy that could really go up in this roster update just because the contact and the vision, the clutch, the power is pretty low. So definitely got a good shot to increase those stats, just especially with the way he's been playing when he's on the field. And he's obviously been, I think, hurt 2 or 3 times during this whole roster, in the second roster update and this roster update. So definitely a good guy to invest into. Obviously, he's going right for quick sell, so nothing to lose once again if he stays the same. But Wyatt Langford's definitely another guy that I would probably have on my list. Now, Luis Varlin has been pretty good all season long. This guy's been so underrated, I think, for the Toronto Blue Jays. You look at his in-game stats, and they're all pretty average, so definitely could see a big upgrade when it comes to Luis Varlin. He's obviously going for quick sell at 400 stubs, so definitely a great time to buy on him. And I think he's only given up a handful of runs this season. So I definitely have a lot of hope in Luis Varlin. He could get a massive upgrade, I think, moving forward, but we'll kind of see what SDS is going to do for him. Now, Murataki Murakami is another one that could go up. He's looking at a +1 right now when it comes to the whole calculator. Once again, another guy going for quick sell. But he's been pretty solid, especially for the White Sox. The White Sox have been a pretty good team this season as well with a couple other players on that squad. So you guys can definitely take a look at their players. But he's another one I think that could get a +1 upgrade, a little bit from that power, and then obviously his other stats just being super low. So those are most of the gold players that I have on here. There's a couple others where I'm still kind of iffy on them, so that's why I'm not really including them in this video, to be honest. Now we're going to go over to the silver market because there's actually a lot of good players to invest into when it comes to the silvers. Let's start off with the first one in Troy Meldon. He's obviously been incredibly well for the Detroit Tigers this season, so he's definitely going to get a pretty good upgrade. I think he's at a 2 to +3 upgrade, so definitely a good shout on Troy Meldon right here. Another great shout is going to be on Kyle Harrison. He's been phenomenal for my fantasy team pretty much all season long, so I definitely had to buy some more of him, but he's another guy that does look like he's going to get a pretty big upgrade, especially with his stats just being pretty low, especially on the left side. So definitely got a good shot for Kyle Harrison to go up in this roster update. And I still think Mickey Moniak should probably be a gold, especially with how he played in May, but I would still hold on to this guy. He's still going for quick, so I don't really think there's anything to lose with holding on to Mickey Moniak. It's kind of what I did in the last roster update, so I'm going to buy him again. We'll see if he goes up. He's still playing pretty well for the most part, but he does need to increase his hitting versus the left side. Brian Baker is really another player that honestly could go up in this roster update. He's honestly been pretty solid for the Tampa Bay Rays this year. You look at his in-game stats, they're pretty solid across the board, but I feel like he only needs a little bit to go up to an 80, so he's definitely another guy to watch when it comes to the next roster update, especially because he's still going for quick sales, so there's really not a lot to lose with Brian Baker. Hunter Goodman's another one that's been absolutely phenomenal. He's currently second in home runs in Major League Baseball. You guys already know my opinion on Hunter Goodman, but if you bought 20 of him a while ago, then you should be set. I mean, his price is already almost at 400, which is basically what he would sell at if he was to go to gold, but he looks like a +2, +3 right now with the way he's playing. So Hunter Goodman's obviously going to go up in the update. We're all excited for that. But if you haven't got Hunter Goodman, you probably could still make some profit on this. Honestly, I really do think he's going to get a +2 or +3 in my opinion. O'Neal Cruz is another guy that's been hitting pretty well in the month of June. You can take a look at his hitting stats in game, and they're obviously not the best. So he's definitely another guy that I think that's going to go up in this roster update just with the contact, the vision, the clutch. He's definitely got a good shot to go up. Another good one is going to be Brandon Marsh right here. You can already see by his price he's starting to climb as well, and people do think he's going to go to a gold, which I would probably agree to. He's obviously played really well. I think he's starting in the All-Star game as well, so you can kind of see how he's been playing over that June, but yeah, he's definitely been a solid player for the Philadelphia Phillies, and I definitely expect him to go up in this roster update. But that's pretty much majority of the players I think they're going to go up in this roster update. There's a ton of guys down here in the silver market that really do have a shot. Like Jordan Walker is a great shout, for example. He's been having a phenomenal season for the Cardinals, excuse me. And we'll see if the Cardinals have their first gold, which is crazy they don't have their first gold, but they're in a wild card spot. So that is kind of crazy. But there's so many players on here. Like a couple mentions are probably like a Bryce Miller could go up. Casey Mize could probably go up. Dean Crater's been playing pretty good for the Orioles. So there's a lot of players that you could probably look at this silver market and max out 20 on them very easily. But that's where we're going to leave it for today. Those are kind of all my picks I have for the diamonds, for the golds, and the silvers. Definitely let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below about certain players or certain guys you think they're going to go up in the roster update. And like I said, I do believe it's going to be next week on that Thursday or that Friday, so we'll kind of wait and see what happens because it has been a decent amount of time since the last roster update. If you guys did enjoy this video, definitely make sure you guys check out all the socials. That'll be linked down below in the description. You can also join the Discord if you want to ask specific questions about the roster update or really anything else in MLB The Show, and you guys can interact with the community over there, so I definitely recommend joining. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everyone.